Uh, oh, fuck, man. I forgot to turn on the goddamn camera. Hold on a second. Okay. Hey, we're live, everybody. It's take whatever. It's live. I with my wife. She found this in a box the other day. I haven't seen this thing in fucking years. Um, so yeah, I've got another prop. Sure it says Universal Studios, but it's supposed to say Lobster Studios. Very soon it will. Um, anyway, you know, hey, professional props like this, you know, how can we go wrong? Okay. Anyway, it just notified me that Grampy Lobster is live in 30 minutes. Well, that's not productive. Oh, now it says, there we go. It's, I have a hard time getting notifications to actually turn off. I think it might be the Illuminati. I'm not really sure. It could be, I could be being gang stalked by people that just refuse to let me, you know, do such things. But anyway, who is Stinky? I hear yes, see. Okay. Yeah, who is Stinky? You know, I got to and look, this is not like I got to tell you something, right? If it wasn't for am I buffering? Oh, anyway, seems like I might be buffering. I don't know what I would do without Bozo's support. He has fed me so much stuff, and although I've only actually talked to him twice, it was years ago, I learned a lot of things about him. Right. First of all, we all know he's a musician and lives up in Oregon, right? And he's an artist too, and stuff like that. And those are kinds of people you can't fucking trust normally in life, right? Because you can't trust musicians because they're thieves, right? You can artists, especially up in I don't know, seems kind of shady. Most likely there's some drugs involved, right? So normally, you'd shy away from, you know, people like that. And but anyway, I learned a lot about. I mean, how much can one actually learn? But through the ups and downs and whatever, my show, whatever, Bozo's always been very, very nice to me and very feeding me with more stuff than I could ever thank him for. And the the ideas that popped through my head coming into this whatever the fuck this is were definitely changed within the last 30 minutes, right? When Bozo, who can like lead the chat like no other, and he's a fountain of creativity. He lets me use his fucking material, right? And uh, has no qualm. I mean, my Grampy Lobster intros and stuff like that. And a few other things. That one thing with the weird shit flying around and all the whole Von Helton thing. There's about 6 songs that I really think are awesome at different speeds with that fucking thing. Personally, some people might think, "Oh, it's kind of psychedelic. It's stupid. You're gonna trigger a seizure or something like that." I love that shit, man. Full fucking screen, just like Von Helton said, full fucking screen, 80 fucking inches. You want that fucking entertainment, and that gives you that full screen effect, right? Kind of a throwback thing, and um, anyway, uh, yeah, but Bozo had said, and this is actually part right here, not part of what I was going to talk about, but I was taught, I would love to have Bozo in a hangout again. I've been in one with him. I think I've talked to him a couple times actually. I think it was on Skype, Skype, and uh, been in a hangout or two when he was in there. But the interaction is not always the same as because he's he's a very unique guy. He's got a perspective on things. He's got an artist's thing going on. And when I make a lot of what it is I do, a lot of it just seems to me it just fits, right? And he knows what I like without having to basically ask me, because of I think he's the closest person that might understand what the fuck is going on in my head, right? But anyway, God, I've seen lobster suck dick so bad before. Crap, this is like I've got my face in this fucking ass. I don't know. Just uh, okay. What was it? Oh yeah, he brought up a few things, that we were going to talk about, but tidy whitey's on the floor, but and a few other things. Tidy whitey's on the floor. We'll go into the racing part, but recently I've discovered Emu Hollingsworth, and he's apparently he was. I wasn't in a lot of the older shit, when they had vlog TV, and so some of the stuff that this guy does, right? First of all, he's a Vontard from the word go. He's a guy that literally wants. I think he would have sex with Vaughn, right? Because the guy's and it doesn't matter that he sucks dick, things like that. But the guy's a fucking weirdo. Wears a diaper, stands up, right, and shows his diaper, which and then just the cringe, the outright. I mean, the guy has a fucking fit, right? Oh, first of all, like I said, he's a Second Amendment police auditor. The guys that like to push their face in nobody else's business and pretend they're, anyway, they're dirtbags, and that's one reason why I don't like this guy. But anyway, but he's up in Maine. He's like, admittedly, he's got a slight bit of cerebral palsy, and he's probably mildly retarded as well. I know that's not a word people like to use and stuff like that, but the guy, he's a DJ, right? And he's had so many fucking shows, right? That literally nobody has fucking watched, but he makes these recordings like people literally would watch him, right? And I know a lot of people don't watch what I do. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people just whatever the fuck, and I don't care, right? Seriously, and I'm going to get into that as well later. But he's quit more times than a person that I don't mention on the YouTube anymore or anywhere, and come back. He e-begs without e-begging, right? He's not going to join your Patreon unless you join his Patreon, but he's not telling you to donate money. But if you don't give him money, he's not going to give you money. And lives on $1,200 probably a month, right? He's got issues, health issues and stuff. But and that by itself, you might say, Lobster, you're making fun of a retard, right? And I'm like, yeah, probably, but it's just it's oh my god, it's just some of the funniest stuff that I've discovered, and I forgot you know what it was? Apparently a long time ago, I guess, because it was on my subscription, right? And I had noticed that he had put that one video up like 2 weeks ago. And literally, I had no idea who this guy. I had never even been on my radar. I don't even remember seeing him in a fucking old Von Helton hangout or anything like that. But anyway, apparently he was a Von Tart from years ago, and I'm learning that as we go along. He's an entertainer. He's the owner of like a few radio stations. He's a DJ, right? He's been fired from a job for, I guess not pulling the line, and they were jealous of him, so he started another one, and they were copying him, and that's why his viewership is always down. I'm telling you, I love this shit. It's funny as fuck, and there's so many video. You can just go picking through them and stuff like that. It's almost as easy as a Von Helton that you can't chop it up too short, because there's just some really crazy, weird shit that some of it might be true, but it's just, I don't know. It's the delivery, right? Screaming about not being able to smoke an e-cigarette in the city council meeting when they're talking about budgets, right? Because he's not going to go 3 hours without smoking an e-cigarette in a budget meeting that he probably, that he's attending, to make sure everything's on the up and up, right? And he gets pissed off when he gets thrown out, but vows to come back and smoke that fucking cigarette again, or that e-cigarette, because there's nothing at all harmful about it. It's just water vapor. And I don't know, just the way he just goes off about the dumbest shit, right? Um, and how he goes off. It's, I don't know. I find it entertaining, but he also fancies himself, a singer. He can he does many styles. He can sound like a lot of fucking people, right? And if you watch that video that I put up with him singing and stuff, you can also tell that he's really good at like not knowing literally half the fucking lyrics to a song and being really bad at faking it. And when he does sing, it's just, well, it's one reason why. Look, it's just funny, right? Now I understand people. Some people, they might say, "Oh, you're making fun of him," right? And I am, right? But what I'm saying is, and I'm not making fun of him because I think he's a little bit retarded and special, right? First of all, he's been out there for the longest time, and he thinks people watch his shit, and he likes to be taken seriously. He doesn't understand. He believes literally that no one over 30 years old can make it on the internet, right? That's the reason that people won't watch him, because he's not in the loot or whatever the fuck, right? Seriously, he believes this. Now, I'm well over 30, right? And I don't have a lot of subscribers. Oh, excuse me. That iced coffee is making me burp. But I don't have a lot of subscribers. I do this for fun. I do this because I like certain people to, yeah, I'm just a weird guy. This is how I entertain myself. And like I said, hopefully entertain yourself, entertain you. It's just how I relax. People say, "Oh, you make fun of the same people over and over again." Yeah, I do, because the people I think the people that I make fun of pretty much deserve it on so many levels. People do it different ways. They make videos debunking things, right? They make videos and in all different things, and I've seen videos where they would try to debate, like, and I know it's for the lulz and stuff, because the people know about certain things, but when somebody stupid goes into a debate, right, and everybody knows that they're stupid except for the person that's stupid, right, and watching those, right, I kept thinking, okay, sure, it's fun, but why the fuck are you debating them? It's to get lulz, and a lot of good video clips over the years, right? Myself, on the other hand, I haven't had the best luck with Von Helton actually in a hangout before. And so this is, why I enjoy a lot of those, because I can't do it because it never turns out well. But anyway, I get back to this. This emo guy, he's Howling's Wolf. Oh, he changed his name to Justin, right? Legally, right? He got his name changed to Justin, not because he's a Bieber. He's a believer. He loves him some Justin Bieber. True story. Because he's always loved the name Justin, but he does love him some Justin Bieber. Who doesn't love the Biebs? But anyway, he does this fucking karaoke, right? And first of all, Achy Breaky Heart. Holy shit. If you haven't seen that last video, the Achy Breaky Heart, I'm in the corner fucking dancing. I was watching this video and I'm like, this has to be shared with the fucking world, right? because this is a guy, right? He's serious. This is him. He's a professional singer and stuff, and we're gonna get into that too. But and he's singing. He's got this mic. He doesn't know the words to his songs, just like Fat Elvis. He fakes it and stuff. And in the first song, he's got an electric guitar, right? And at first, I'm thinking to myself, and I go through this in the video. Because trust me, I'm in the fucking corner. I'm doing commentary. I'm dancing. I even got the slot. We're having a good fucking time. It was a workout and a half. It's like a 30-minute video of it. Well, if you watch it, it's almost like a workout because I know I had a workout dancing, and it was funny as shit. But anyway, so I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, Vaughn's always been looking for an online band, right? And I'm thinking to myself, this guy, Emu Hollingswolf, plays some awesome guitar. You should have, he didn't play a note for an entire fucking song, but he held the guitar, right? He held the guitar, right? And a few times he acted like he was gonna play it, but he faked it out, right? He wanted you looking for more, wanting more, right? And I think we did, right? We wanted more. And as the song went by, it was very apparent that he might know how to play a few chords on the guitar, but as for following along on a karaoke song or something like that, no. It was funny at the end, right? It was just, and he was serious about it, right? The man has no presence. He looks like it's, I don't know. I just find it funny. I find so many things funny, but we got to get, our online management company, department of our company, um, is possibly looking into maybe trying to contact or finding ways of contact to find out if Mr. Justin Hollingswolf and Von Helton could get together, maybe do a duo, right? I mean, we all know Von's he's got some pipes, and I think he's all I think he's made us all throw up on our mouths more than one or two times, and probably almost caused you to punch your fucking video screen or whatever screen you watched on or whatever device because he just shit on a song that you loved so fucking bad. And so I thought, why not have them do a duo, right? Maybe we can you find any online drummers, uh, that are willing to, maybe they can get that keyboard guy that Vaughn most likely tricked into, or the guy said, sure, I'll play whatever, But in that Doors song, that was cringy as fuck. But I think we need to make this happen, ladies and gentlemen. We seriously do. I think the public deserves it. Getting like Rip Cervix, right? Maybe not the original lineup for Rip Cervix, but get Rip Cervix back together. Maybe we can find an old drummer or something like that. But as long as we got Vaughn, you know, leading the charge, and we've got a very competent uh, guitar player, as in this Hollingsworth guy, who we've not literally ever seen play the guitar yet, but we know he knows how to hold a guitar very badly. But he could, holy shit, it was just funny as fuck, But anyway, yeah, let's see, what else was Bozo talking about? Like I said, let me see, finishing up. Yeah, like I said, oh yeah, I kiss Bozo's ass for a few minutes. He's a wonderful guy, and all he really, I offered. You can see it in the side chat. I offered Bozo. You know, he's doing uh, what do they call it? A remix of a Motorhead's first concert and stuff like that. And I told him flat out, right? I said, look, I will offer you many sexual favors from our premium, uh, lists at the lobster dumpster hand job emporium. And he said, I said, we offered it. I offered him. I said, unlimited free services for all the hand jobs you want, all the extra stuff too, free of charge for I don't know, kind of like the carte blanche card, anytime you fucking want, for as long as you want, right? And he said, no lobster. He says, but I will take you up. I will take it for a can of Wilkins coffee. And I thought, now that's a heck of a guy. It's a wonderful guy. And although we don't understand Bozo, I mean, who really could, right? The abstract mind that. Anyway, I am like pretty stoned tonight. Had some stuff going on recently that I wanna. Let me see. Just wanted to see if there was some other stuff. Yeah, Bozo. If you're doing this art, man, at least you could have the courtesy sometime to like doing just pictures and like like show us what you're doing. Just I mean, we all know you're not, and I'd like to see pictures, like previews, whatever. But let me see. He is a master shredder. Almost injured. Okay. Stinky. Okay. Walter. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm back down to the thing. Walter, this is the answer, Walter. Walter, I am so burned out on Elvis Travels right now. I had to take a break. That's some of the creepiest, weirdest stuff, right? Seriously, that I have ever seen in my life. I've got a lot of video of Fat Elvis for a lot of his old hangouts. I sat there and fucking recorded shit. I'm laughing. I'm sitting there just like going, what the fuck is this guy, right? At times you look at him and you're like, damn, there's nothing upstairs. This guy's dumb as a board, right? And other times I'm like, this guy's punking us, right? Because literally nobody's that fucking stupid, right? And there's a lot, and if you look at that whole situation shit, right? There's people that are friends with this person that hate. There's a weird fucking circle of shit, right? That floats in that community, right? And I think a lot of people are being played. I think a lot of it is bullshit, right? I'm not saying Elvis is the fucking ringleader. I think he might be a puppet, or people are playing him. I don't think just because you see people on either side talking to each other and they're friendly, but Elvis doesn't. This guy's a hater, but these guys are talking and they have hang up. It's fucking weird, And there is not enough pot in this fucking world anymore for me not to take a break, because literally I could give a fuck less. I was hoping he was going to get his ass kicked when he got to Chicago. That's what I lost my $20 on. I thought for sure. It's like these fucking series they have, and people are guessing the endings. There was a lot of people guessing what the fuck was going to happen at the end when you're looking for a fucking conclusion, right? And when it happens, even if it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be, right, or you're hoping it would be, it's just a continuation of the same shit, right? So, I mean, like this Norm F character, right? I don't think that's completely on the. There's a lot of bullshit. There's so much fucking retard bullshit in that. I still think Elvis is just dumb as fucking shit. He calls his van a rig. It's my rig. You know, I don't. And see, the funny thing about it is, I don't think he understands how stupid he looks, how just downright just dumb as a board, right? Just clueless, right? Going through Chicago, never saw him once go through like I don't know, the nice parts of Chicago, right? You go into some Syrian community that's got strip malls and shit like that, and then drive through residential areas, drive by this area and drive by this. There's a gas station there. There's this. There's, whatever, parking in fucking parking lots at night and being chased away by the police, getting kicked out of fucking Dunkin' Donuts. That was funny as fuck. You know what? I started watching that hangout, and at first, because I watched that one with him in that restaurant where he's hanging, that he's pushing his thing around, and he likes to show people where he's at, but he doesn't like to actually show where he's at. He likes to show pictures of him, like with all that shit in the background, but you can't see because of his dumb ass. But when he got kicked out of McDonald's, or at a Dunkin' Donuts, I swear I turned that off. Like he was yakking, he was doing his shit. I must have turned it off like 5 minutes before the manager came over. And thanks to Darren, right? Darren did a great fucking recap of that. And I'd like to thank Darren very much for that, because that video of him getting kicked out is literally he took that down, right? Because he was talking some smack to the police and everything, but so much of it is so anticlimactic anymore. It's like watching a sitcom, right? Of stupid people, right? Of a guy that lives in a fucking van, right? And poops in Walmart bags and claims he's, best for business and, styling and profiling and, living the fucking American dream, the nomad life. He's king of the nomads, I think his viewership's even gone down. I think people are just like, it's just an old shtick. It used to be kind of funny, entertaining, but now it's so cringy. It's not even worth fucking watching. It's just stupid. But anyway, thanks for asking. I do actually read the comments sometimes. Yeah, maybe you could get out of a Tim Hortons soon. Tim Hortons didn't work out well in this area. Apparently there used to be Tim Hortons out here, and they didn't work out because Dunkin' Donuts, man. Fuck yeah, man. Anyway. Uh, yeah, the sheer lack of self-awareness with Elbow is quite mesmerizing. Yeah, because yeah, especially when he like tries to act like cool and shit, and trust me, I got probably way too much Elbow on my hard drive. Not as much as Von Helton stuff, but anyway, like I said, no Von Heltons were injured during the making of this podcast. Absolutely, Gertrude. It's very nice to see you, by the way. You're looking lovely this evening, as always. And we appreciate your participating in this and hang on. As I try to do actually sometimes things when I go live, and I know I've been going on for 28 or fuck, what time is it? Oh, well, shit. A long time now, almost 40 fucking minutes. And I've talked literally about nothing. Apparently I just got the notification that I'm live again. And anyway, well, that settles that. A lot of people, I'd like to explain, and this is the kind of sound weird to a lot of people, right? You might not understand. You might kind of understand. You might go, you might whatever, right? I don't. It's not whether I'm looking for approval or just whatever, but I've the one thing about me, right, is at this point in my life, right, and see, I'm an honest guy, right. I don't claim to be like anything I'm not and everything like that. I like to make fun of shit, right. I like to fuck with shit. I like to have fun with whatever it is I put on the computer. It gets me through my day a lot of times. Sometimes not as much as other times. Sometimes a little bit too much, But it's kind of a hobby, and I started out years ago, like I said, just in Oregon, right? And through the years, it's gotten me through a lot of fucking times, right? And hey, can't go trooper, how you doing? And admittedly, at times, right, I share a lot of information about myself because it's kind of relevant to who I am and who I don't claim to be. I don't claim to be, I'm not a specialist at anything. I've never done anything spectacular in my life. My education is some college, community college. And I'm not dishing on community college or anything like that, but I'm not the best educated guy, right? I've done some stupid shit in my fucking life. So I've explained some of the dumb things I've done in my life, but I don't think it's possible to understand the stupid shit that I've done in my life, the poor choices that I've made at the wrong time, right? And admittedly, right, I did have some success in life, and with there's issues that have gone through my head since I can remember that I've dealt with in different ways, right? Um, and to help myself, I've always tried to be creative because I at something because I literally sucked at most things that I did, right? Or I sabotaged myself from being able to do a good job. And you people that are out there that understand what self sabotage is, you get so high and you're like, fuck it, So like I said, I've never claimed to like, you know, know a lot, you know, because I don't, right? I know just enough to get me in trouble in certain conversations, right? And that's why certain conversations I stay out of, right? But when it comes to humor and sarcasm and just fucking around, that's pretty much where I find myself a lot of times. Um, I joke about a lot of things that people take seriously, right? Um, Last year, as many people know, that when I was in Baltimore and I did my video where I was feeling um, my breathing was fucked up, right? And I was having a hard time. It was really hot and humid and stuff. I'm sitting on my son's porch, and I'm just I'm explaining that I might need to go to the hospital. I was being me. I was being who I was, right? And trying to be as honest. People that have known me throughout the years, right? Um, and that was construed into Von Helton believing that, or thinking maybe possibly that the gods had something to do with it, and this he was going to that maybe the gods were intervening, and that's why was only had 5 months to live, or 5 years, or some shit like that, right? And when I heard that the first time, right, uh, I thought, I want to scream at this fucker and punch him in his throat, but I'm not a fighter, right? I'm not a fighter. I'm not an evil person. I don't threaten people with violence. Look, okay, if somebody comes to my house, I don't own a gun, but it's still not going to turn out well. So although, and I got nothing against guns, this is an anti-gun commercial like that. I'm not saying that people are coming to look for me or something like that, but if somebody ever did, it most likely wouldn't turn out well for them. And it's not a gun, right? That being said, right, like I said, I don't. I'm not a physical guy. I don't threaten to people up, beat people up. I don't get into hangouts like threatening Polly's Customs and George Bush pimps. They're gonna kick their ass and shit like that in front of a judge. I am not a violent guy in my physically, right? Never have been. Don't like to fight. Been in very few real fights in my life. A couple times when I had to be in a fight, and admittedly, I bit a guy because we were drunk, and another guy I nutted him, right, and well, actually I pulled his balls, I think those are the only two fights that I ever like gained any type of advantage. So I'm not an evil person, and I'm not a sick person physically, right? But I have a really weird mind, right? And I've explained this to people before, and some people may not take this, understand where my mind is, this is not a mental health fucking thing. I'm not doing it, so just please get that out of the way. But through my life, I've gone through certain things, and I've learned certain things, and I've learned at certain times in my life I've looked like an idiot, and there's certain times in my life I should have gone with something but didn't go with something. And later in life, you learn lessons and you realize things that you didn't understand when you were younger for whatever reason. And since, like, being on the internet and listening to other people and other opinions and stuff over the years, I've learned a lot of things about myself. I've learned a lot of things about other people, right? Um, and that's helped me become who I am and dealing with what's in my head. Like, I tell people my sleeping pattern is fucked up, right? I couldn't take Chantix anymore because I have really weird things and sick shit, right? Things that that I don't act on, right? But I get some um, weird, demented, sick, and twisted. I don't watch horror movies, and I'm not bragging. This is not meant to, like, say, "Oh, I can outdo this movie," or "Did you ever see this movie?" and shit like that. I've seen some and stuff like that. I don't watch them because I've got really weird shit that goes on in my head at times, right? When I sleep, right? I don't like to sleep sometimes, right? And then when you don't get sleep sometimes, shit, ever get punch drunk, things like that. You're totally sober, maybe a little bit stoned, maybe a little bit too much caffeine, but still haven't slept for a long time. And, shit gets kind of weird. And then when I do go to sleep, weird shit happens, right? It's hard to explain. A lot of it stems through shit my entire fucking life that kind of happened or didn't happen. It's not repressed memories. It's just the way my mind works, right? And so I make fun, I make light of a lot of things that some people find offensive. I say retarded. I say, I don't use a lot of politically correct fucking terms. Um, and that's, it's kind of a product of where I came from and what I've been through, through a lot of things, right? And so, like, getting back to like what Vaughn said about my health, it's a known fact. People know I have breathing problems, right? I've got three different kind of fucking inhalers. I've got a nebulizer, right? And wait, one, two, three. Okay, three types of inhalers and a nebulizer, right? And I have breathing problems, and at times I go to the fucking hospital. Okay, this is because of poor choices I made in life, and understanding, like, I've got COPD, like, really shitty bad, right? My breathing capacity lacks a lot, and I've learned over the years to, I've accepted it. I mean, I don't smoke like I used to, right? But walking distances without preparation, going places at times, uh, can be a task. It can be difficult, right? I could still come to Kentucky and whip your ass, Von Hilton. I would still gladly do that. But anyway, so, and lung capacity isn't fucking good. I'm not saying, oh, feel sorry for me like that, shit like that. But through the years, I've understood what I had, and I don't broadcast it. People know, whatever, and stuff. I mean, I've got my nebulizer right behind me. It's, oh, can't quite see it, but anyway, yeah, and whatever. So, so when Vaughn made that comment, first, I was going to get angry, right? And just the way I've evolved through life, right? It's not that I don't care, right? And people say, "Oh, I don't care either, man," whatever like that. There's a lot of things in life, and this isn't, for whatever. I've come to some realizations in my life, right? And this isn't a death thing or anything, but that I have what I have, and I try to make the best of what I have, right? And when like earlier today, I even put it on Facebook, right? I was supposed to. We had the flea market thing, right? I should have gone to the hospital Friday, Thursday. Should have gone Friday. Should have gone, but we had to do the flea market thing. We did it Friday. I was pooped. I slept all day pretty much Sunday, and then today I went up there and everything. Thinking, and if I would have gone a couple of days ago, most likely they would have put me in the hospital. But I went today, feeling a little bit better. So I went up there and they redid some prescriptions for me for my nebulizer and my whatever like that. But I've come to I've come to the understanding that I'm not saying that, oh God, I'm never going to make that saying again that I've got 5 years to live. I keep doing this. I'm doing the best I can. I um, I do things because I've come to realizations about certain things, right? And like when I say I don't care, right, about a lot of things. There's a lot of things in here I seriously could give two fucks about, right? One of them, personally, except for the whole him threatening and stuff like that, is Von Helton. Personally, I could give two fucks if his kids get taken away, right? I could give two fucks about his Hot Wheels, right? I've never given two fucks about Von Helton. I have fun with Von Helton or with this emu werewolf fucking dude, right? It's because that's how I get through my fucking day, right? It's entertainment to me, right? Because when you find people that have made dumber choices than you have in your life, right? You know, that's where it just to me that's okay. Look, you know, I'm a dumb fuck, right? I've said some stupid things. I've the whole death after the fucking video. I had kind of a thing planned. The whole when I made the video originally, it wasn't supposed to turn into that, but then it turned out to me like doing something really stupid. Well, looked good on paper, and who'd have thought? But anyway, it is what it is, and we moved on from that. But oh, anyway, getting into my health issues, right? Which are if you people know me on Facebook, they know what I talk about. Hey, Herb's a sad catfish. I don't know if he's getting his kids taken. I wouldn't be surprised though. But anyway, I was at the hospital today, right? I thought I may have not necessarily needed to have been hospitalized, but well, that came out. That wasn't a sickness cough. That was like. Hmm. But anyway, I can't cough on cue like that. But anyway, so I'm able to, I wasn't sure if they were going to put me in the hospital for a couple of days to get my oxygen and my um, the the blood in your oxygen or oxygen in your blood and all that. I don't really pay attention. I've also been known as being non-compliant a few times, so that always helps. But they tweaked a couple of my medications and stuff. But anyway, in the meantime, I'm sitting there. It's not really busy, but I had a really friendly doctor. Usually, when I go to end up in the emergency room, it's like 3 in the morning, right? So there was a different kind of people at the emergency room today. And this older doctor, he was a bald-headed guy. He was talking to me like really down to earth and stuff like that. And um, uh, anyway, he was telling me that I could there's some stuff I could do with saline solution for my nebulizer, right? I can actually run saline solution at times to help with certain things. Anyway, so he goes, oh, we can prescribe you these little bullets of saline solution to like open and it squeezes out a little bit of saline solution. And I said, so in other words, when I go get this filled, I can just pick up a bottle of saline solution, put a little bit in the thing, about as much as the regular stuff. He goes, yeah, you could do that. So a little bit later, he comes back and he's got this bottle of saline solution, right? And he's a friendly guy, right? And the nurse was this male nurse there was there too, and it wasn't busy. It was just I don't know when to shut up. But anyway, I asked him. I said, "Do you guys give away diapers in the emergency room for people that don't need them or and stuff?" And the guy kind of looked at me, right, because he give it because they were giving me free stuff, right? And for some reason, I just thought of that, and I was like, if I was to ask for an adult diaper right now, would you get? Would I mean, first of all, would you give them to me if I didn't ask for them? And they're looking at me like I'm kind of crazy because you have literally no idea what I'm talking about. And sometimes it's okay if you're the only one that knows the joke. But um, I think the guy kind of looks at me and he goes, "I don't even know that we have any down here," or something. I mean, it was it was kind of a puzzling. Like they knew that I was a little, I yak a lot and stuff like that, but and they knew that I mean we were having fun, but they seriously didn't know how to answer that, right? And so I was like, okay. I asked him. I said, look, okay, if and I've been a patient in this hospital before, so I might want to know this, right? Because I'm most likely going to be a patient in a hospital in the near future. That's understanding a lot of things. And anyway, so I asked him. I said, look, if I'm a patient in this hospital, right, and I got to go to the bathroom, right? And I tell you that I can't get up, right? I can't make it to the bathroom. I said, what are you going to do? He says, well, most likely slide a bedpan under you, right? And I said, would you give somebody an adult diaper? Well, it depends if they come in with them, if they're comfortable with them, or whatever. A lot of elderly patients, incontinence and things like that. And I could understand that. I didn't want to sit there and say, well, there's this guy, right? Fully well knowing in my mind that this is what I'm talking about. And the guy would never understand it. Anyway, like I said, sometimes it's a great thing if you're the only one that knows that you know, and this is what I do to entertain myself. People say, oh, you're not the same way around on the outside. And I'm like, you've never seen me out. So I don't go out a lot. But anyway, so I asked him, I said, what about an adult diaper? And he said, well, like he said, it could depend, depends. But it could depend on preferences, incontinence, a lot of things. Maybe the guy can get up, he just doesn't want to, and you kind of like, but it's always an option, right? And I said, do you give diapers out to patients, right? Like in a goodie, like I've left the hospital with these big fucking plastic cups with lids and straws, right? Those are fucking great, man, for like a nice cup, not nothing fancy, sitting around. Me and Carl have a few, adult beverages in these things, or whatever the fuck we want, but they're good, solid things, right? And we're not living the life of luxury here, But I mean, there's certain things too, right? Um, little box of Kleenex that kind of, I always throw shit in the drawers or whatever like that. You always end up coming home with something, right? It's not like you can steal the towels of Howard Johnson, but yeah, I just asked, and like I said, sometimes you leave with a goodie bag. They go, hey, we want you to take this and this and this with you and everything, right? So they don't have to throw it away, I guess. But I said, look, would you throw in some adult diapers if I didn't need them? And he said, why would I do that? I don't know. I'm just asking, right? And that was I kind of cut it off like that because at that point I kind of figured he was ready to go anyway. Mrs. Lobster was sitting behind me. I felt so bad for her. But anyway, oh jeez. Uh I just I don't know if you've ever done this to entertain yourself when you can do something that's funny, even if it's only funny to you and the end no one's getting hurt, right? No one's getting hurt. No one's getting hurt at fucking all, right? But sometimes with a joke or something, you're the only one that has to actually know what the joke is, right? It doesn't have to. Everybody doesn't have to know, right? As long as you understand it, and because not everybody's gonna understand it. If you try to explain to somebody while you're doing it, then it kind of. But geez, that made my fucking day, right? Uh, but because and I mean, they gave me this bottle of saline solution, and that's when I thought, hey, maybe they'll give me some adult diapers too, because Vaughn said when he goes to the hospital, they just give him adult diapers. He doesn't need them, right? But he's got them in the back, right? Now, like I said, I'm not judging, right? The fact that Emo Hollingswolf, well, God, this guy actually literally sits up, stands up, and shows his fucking diaper, right? Because he'd rather shit in a fucking. Now, admittedly, he says he has incontinence, right? But when you proudly say that you would, like I said, public bathrooms can be horrible places, right? And sometimes you don't do it. Oh, I wanted to prove that I actually was in the hospital. I had this tape still here. Pull that off. Um, that's where they put some like liquid steroid stuff and some other solution to make my face bright because I was kind of pale. And I even got my fucking armband thing here. Oh, there's the barcode. That's like a 12-year-old picture. Back when I lived in Oregon, I just wanted to show you proof and evidence, right? That I actually was actually at the fucking hospital. Since he came on the interwebs, and he. Yes, absolutely. There are definitely. Uh, yeah, Vaughn did say he was going to wear diapers when he went to go see the Avengers. So thank goodness those doctors gave him some free diapers. He doesn't wear a diaper. He doesn't wear a diaper, man. That's some spongy shit on his ass, man. That is definitely not a power lifter's ass. But one of the creepiest things. Okay, I'm gonna check out what's going on in the fucking site chat. Drag ripping a certain idiot from New Jersey. Yeah, yeah, that is some must see fucking shit right now, right? Uh, Dragnot. It's just been going on like for what 6 years, 7 years between him and G-Man. And at first, I don't think it was. I mean, this has been like a long running series that people have watched and not watched. And this is the most exciting fucking series. This is some shit that's gonna fucking blow up, right? There, if you watch Dragnot's thing tonight, right? There's some like criminal, not like police records or whatever records, and not releasing everything. Kind of maybe like like the Nixon tapes or something like that. If you're old enough to remember that, me barely, junior high, but so some of you millennials might not really, if you don't understand what the Nixon tapes were, just Google it, man. You know. Uh, anyway, yeah, I think G-Man's living in a tent. I think he's fucked himself and backed himself into a fucking corner that he won't be able to get out of. Right? Um, mm. You seen the bulge? What, Bella? Oh yeah, on Vaughn's. Yeah, and like I said, and please let me make this clear, right? I am not making fun of somebody because they wear adult diapers, right? Or maybe they do sometimes, or whatever. I'm not making fun of him for that. The fact that he's a fucking moron, right? And he wears diapers. It's just it's like an add-on when you go to the restaurant and you want bacon on your burger. Well, the fact that he's an idiot and he wears a diaper, um, you know, just kind of like getting the. But yeah, and like I've said this before, right? I don't claim a lot of knowledge on the exact past and stuff like that, but years ago, and I'm telling you, this is honest truth. Some bring up the name XXOO54 to G Man, right? Um, I remember G Man when he was XXOO54 and apparently had just converted basically in a lot of ways to what has now become, preaching the choir ministries type shit, right? Um, and I used to make videos about him, call him a fucking jerk off, just a complete moron idiot, but that's how my old argument. But just I want somebody to bring up XXOO54 to G Man. If he claims it didn't exist, then he's full of shit. But that was his name. We used to call him Hugs and Kisses, you know. Uh, few people that remember the Oregon 8, when I first came to Rhode Island before my channel got shut down, right? When I had my old fucking, well, the one I started with here, when you used to be able to see that wall over there, and but he used to be XXOO54, and he's always been a low cow. He's got to be the shittiest fucking Christian, right, or God believer, or whatever the fuck he calls himself. If Christians are like him, then he's a perfect, I mean, I remember the Chocolate Atheist. I'm way before the Chocolate Atheist. Yeah, I love watching Vaughn. When he gets out of his chair now and waddles down the fucking hallway, that's some funny fucking shit. That needs some like Benny Hill music, something just real gassy. But let's see. Yeah, one of the craziest, weirdest, creepiest fucking things recently. Now we've all made comments and looked at Irv's fucking like beard thing he's got. He calls it his handlebars, right? And it's been called a lot of things. It's been called the gravy spikes. You know, he thinks it's badass and maybe it'll make him look more like Burrito Supreme-ish or some shit. I don't fucking know. But when he made that Hot Wheels video, right, with his kids in it, right, and like I said, this is not shitting on his kids. I think his kids are really darn cute. And when his kids were gone, I noticed he said, when he made the comment about his handlebars, right, and he said that it was an adult thing, an adult connotation, I think is what he called it, and he said it's for holding on to handlebars, and it's an adult thing, right? So I'm like, okay, it can't be right. It can't be a motorcycle or some kind of vehicle or something like that, because you don't have to be an adult to ride a motorcycle, right? Or you don't have to be an adult necessarily to drive certain vehicles, right? To hold on, right? That are you need handlebars for. So I took that whole idea out of my mind. I'm like, okay, if it's not for driving, I'm thinking about why else would Vaughn have handlebars, as he puts it, on his chin? And I thought for a moment, and seriously, I thought, what could be going on here? What different things could be happening, and who could be in control of what? Trying to, not to make a rush, not to make, a rush in judgment. I gotta take this fucking thing. It's been bugging the fuck out of me all day. Like, I want to show them, Anyway, so I make fun of a lot of things. I know I'm gonna die one day. Pretty much know what's gonna kill me. It's this shit. But anyway, good thing I can't find a knife. I can cut myself. I'm just fucking kidding, people. But anyway, all I could think of when he said like handlebars in the end, and what the purpose of these handlebars could be on his fucking chin was the fact that somebody was holding his fucking handlebar mustaches and jamming their dick down his fucking throat. Seriously, I think I tried to do the math on it, the whole physics thing, all that shit like that, and that was literally the only thing I could come up with was somebody grabbed him, but it was for somebody grabbing him by his chin and like shoving their fucking dick in his mouth, right down his fucking throat, all the way down the gummy glory hole. You know, that's seriously, that's the only conclusion I can come up with. Yeah, hot Go-Gurt action, triggered hot Go-Gurt action. You know, it should be the star of Centipede 3. Yeah, Irv the Sad Catfish. That's just disgusting. Good pubes. My God, that's nasty. Maybe for a goat, you know? Yeah, those would be some awesome goat scrotum fucking pubes. But anyway, Irv, I still want to do a fucking hangout with you sometime. You talk so slow and precise, and you bring up different points, maybe a little bit different ideas and things that and so much love, and let's make this happen, young man. And by young man, I'm not trying to call you a millennial or anything like that, because I know you've worked your ass off your entire life. And you like to watch Fawn because this is a thing too. Oh, for fuck's sake! In the one video I did with this uh, Jewy Jew Hollingsworth fuckface guy, this Fontar. He does a response to Von Helton, right? Where Von Helton claimed that, welfare, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, uh, SNAP programs, welfare of all kind programs should be stopped because he didn't want to pay for it with his taxes. And this guy's making a response video to Vaughn. This is how stupid this guy is. He really thinks Vaughn actually did something. You know what I mean? Um, and well, we know the story. He was he's done so much. He was a bedpan cleaner. He was an orderly for 14 years. You know, he's semi-retired. I think he has fully retired now. I think he's taking on the whole benefits, the retirement benefits, paying Hot Wheels with his kids and stuff like that. And like you said, the month of June is approaching. I think that's when we're going to have more of a big reveal, you know, about Vaughn's new specialty race cars with fucking Hot Wheels, and maybe see what kind of shenanigans is going on in the Helton house. I mean, June's coming, motherfuckers. He said 1st of June. It's pretty much when Jerry's check shows up. Excuse me, not a check, benefits. Oh, by the way, I've still got this Japanese flag thing. I forgot to take it to the yard sale. I don't think anything was really gonna it was gonna sell, because pretty much it was nickel and dime dollar bullshit. God damn, you can always tell when people start coming to your yard sale. We have a yard sale. A lot of times, you're gonna ask for a certain amount, but you're gonna really accept a certain percent. And you can tell pretty early on when you're having a yard sale. You got some stuff that might go for a little bit, and then at the same time, you really want to get rid of it, so you'll get something, right? Because you don't want it; it's gone anyway. Whatever you don't sell is gone to the fucking uh, thrift store place. So we knew it wasn't going to be. We weren't expecting it, but they get about $300 in about 4 fucking hours. Was an awful lot of fun, and met some really nice people, and I entertained the fucking people in the driveway. Uh, some people thought it was funny. Some people kind of looked at me, which is fine. But uh, yeah, the jury foreman for 2 years thing. Um, I've actually heard in some areas people actually do get appointed to be jury foreman for a certain length of time, and you can be. So some cities count, because sometimes picking a jury foreman can be really, So I actually have heard of that. I'm not Ninja and Cold War vet. Yeah, uh, all those Karate Kyle pictures. Now, look, you can go and trust me because I've done this, right? And you can too if you just Google it. It's so fucking simple. You can Google who Karate Kyle is. There's a list of stuff. The things have been done before. People have found they found the guy. They know who this person is. This person's actually done stories. I think there's two of them. The one that Vaughn claims to be, it's not Vaughn. And the other one, that guy is people have known for years. You can go. It's seriously not hard to find. But his Karate Kyle fucking lawsuit. Um, the Cold War vet thing. That's just you know, like I said, when it comes to Cold War vet bullshit that Vaughn talks about, that you know you should thank him, because people like him are the reason we're not speaking Russian. You know, it kind of shits on like people that actually did things right. And like I said, 6 years in the army, I didn't do a whole lot. Right, I learned how to do a lot of things. I had some good times. I had some bad times. I was no fucking hero. I was in the artillery, Germany, places, whatever. So, I was in the Cold War, like many people were, right? And went on training exercises, went to Fort Irwin, California, and a couple times. I mean, I've been, some more places and some less places than others, but I've been, so yeah, I was in the Cold War. And the way Vaughn talks about it in his mere 9 months before he went into the civilian capacity and even past that, kind of shits on people that throughout history have done things covertly, maybe, who never got credit. You know, we're learning about a lot of these people through history now, through diaries, through uh, memories, through pictures, through archived footage from previously not seen things show up a lot. New evidence, and from like World War I is being unearthed at different times. Still things that we've never seen before that happened, or diaries, just like Civil War diaries or diaries from World War II or any other war. And these are people that literally sacrificed everything, right? And never got that attaboy, thank you type shit. Uh, that Vaughn so he believes that he deserves. You know, um, I wouldn't call it like stolen valor, because I don't think people would really, because people have seen his DD-214, what an RE3 is, his rank, the whole bit like that. So the whole idea of being some kind of covert op kind of guy kind of shits on people that did. You know what I mean? And in every war, right? Whether it was the Civil War or World War I, even the Revolutionary War, right? People who did covert missions that um, never came back, right? Um, I recently read a book about a fellow that was in World War I. He covert guy, right? Undercover. His for like 2.5 years. His diary. He was um, pronounced missing, I think in like beginning of 1917, or I forgot when it was, but his diary was recovered in a bookstore of all places in like 20 years ago or something like that. And they were talking about it, right? And the things that he did behind the lines that um, saved lives, right? He wasn't braggadocious about it. He, in his thing, his journal, I guess you'd call it, or his diary, he would write down what they did, like the mission, and to an extent, yeah, I mean, you understand, like code, or whatever, however they did it. And when Vaughn claims, it's an airdrop, we all know it's bullshit. Uh, there's a saying that I learned a long time ago, right? That kind of helped me in a lot of ways, right? Um, and this is something that I don't think that Vaughn's quite aware of or wouldn't understand. But you can fool other people, but you can't fool yourself, right? The question is, does Vaughn really think all of his Cold War stories, which he has none, right? Because he can't talk about it because it's, you know, sealed files, and he'd have to kill you. But when he's on his deathbed in his 90s or something shit like that, he's gonna show all the fucking Manila envelopes. They're scattered everywhere. He's gonna spill the beans, right? Because some stupid fuck who's 45 years old, who's done, look, like I said, I haven't done a lot in my life, and I understand that, and I've come to grips with that. And that's why I like to make fun of people that done dumber shit than me. Because a lot of us that have done stupid shit in our life are really good at pointing out bullshit, right? It's just a fact, right? And that's one thing that draws me. It's like, Jesus Christ, this guy's made more stupid fucking mistakes in his life than I have. And that's pretty fucking shitty. That's pretty fucking bad, right? I gotta tell you, just God's honest truth, you know? About demons and poltergeists. Are you fucking shitting me? Really? Demons and poltergeists. When he puts on that fucking red robe, he's transformed into some fucking wizard fucker, right? That goes around chanting shit, like the groundhog thing, and having the use of the force only once. Fuck me. 190%. Yeah, I remember his hillbilly math originally when he was 190% or some shit. Cherokee. He claims to have lived in New York. Father Judgment really enjoyed hearing that one. And that's another thing. I mean, Father Judgment, or Snyder, I forgot which one of those shady fuckers did it. The one where I get that, hey, Stinky, at the bottom of the hour. I love that. Hey, shit stained diaper boy. But he showed, Vaughn's family tree. And at first I thought, that's kind of invasive in a lot of ways, but it's ancestry.com. It's public stuff. You're not, you can find people, right? And showing that, there was no, yeah, not at liberty. um, yeah, rest in peace, Father Judgment. It was a terrible accident what happened to him, but he died loving, doing what he loved, being pissed off at the world and falling on a ladder while he's trying to fix something, preserving justice in the world. We miss you, Father Judgment. I gotta get this fucking thing up. A little fucking knife thing. Oh yeah, here we go. I got this corkscrew bowl scraper, corkscrew bottle opener thing. Got like resin on the fucking knife. Use it for. I'm gonna attempt to not. Ah, hey, here we go. It's been. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that I was in a fucking hospital. Anyway, but uh, yeah. So I make fun of my health. Because my health sucks, right? I try not to take it lightly, but and some people don't understand that. But The hardest thing I just have the hardest thing wrapping around my head right now is those fucking handlebar mustache or the handlebar beards that Vaughn has. That somehow somebody grabs hold of that and does things to Vaughn's mouth. Right now, what that certain something is, I don't fucking know. I really don't know that I'd really want to know, right? But I was gonna light that cigarette. I shouldn't do that. Cape kills. Yeah, the fucking cape. I look. I've got some steampunk things. I've got a couple black coats that I've got some patches. Sometimes I like to go out and like I like to wear black, right? Some Motorhead patches or something like that. Um, I got a hat I wear sometimes. Whatever. It depends on my mood. I go out in different things. I got this CSI, can't stand idiots fucking shirt I've been wearing since this morning. You know, I wear different things, right? I did have to take off my, I don't know if you noticed this, but my Iron Cross and my Snaggletooth thing is, God, you go to the fucking emergency room and they always make you do a chest x-ray. I'm like, God damn it. You didn't find anything in my chest last time. Because certain things don't tend to show up where you can't notice them in x-rays. I've often wondered why the fuck they keep doing x-rays before they literally do anything else. Jeez, but anyway. And it makes some people happy because, there might be a spot on your lung. It's like, no, there's no spot on my lung. It's not what I have. It's not cancer. But anyway, Bella, I like you. You just feed me some stuff. Usually it's, yeah, I didn't have to stay in a hospital, Celeste. If I would have gone a few days ago, I would have, but I'm kind of stubborn and I had to do that fucking yard sale, make the money. We went out to dinner, and bought some fans and put some gas in the car and did a little shopping and went out and had some dinner. Had hot wieners in Rhode Island. 3 hot wieners, an order of fries, and a Coke for like $7, man. Best fucking lunch in Rhode Island. But that's not what Mrs. Lobster had. She had a meatball set. But yeah, and then a little bit. So like we're rolling in the dough. We've probably got upwards of maybe $45 left from the yard sale because we've been splurging, right? Yeah, that's there have been times in every relationship. I'm glad you brought that up, Bella. That when you're in a relationship, someone's trying to sleep and someone's making a little bit too much noise. It would normally be me, right? And there's times where nothing, no yelling or anything like that. At least here it's like gee, next time I wish you would have let me know, or I had to close the door because you were doing your whatever the fuck it is you do, type shit. And I probably said, oh, geez, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was that loud or whatever. But not in my wild dreams would I ever even suggest that the woman that I betrothed and that I've married, I'd never even suggest that she go sleep in the car and risk her safety from the bears and the predators and the trolls that are definitely looking at Von Helton's house and trying to find a way to ruin his marriage and take away his kids and put them in CPS so they can be abused by the system and nearly shipped to India. He actually did say that once. I see Mr. Bozo's making howdy with old friends. That is awesome sauce. The fucking year again. That is great. I am. That's what we love in Side Chat is people connections, people making friends making connections, reconnections. That's what we're all about here at Lobster Studios. Yeah, the whole fucking gun thing or the mouse thing. That whole story stinks from fucking high heaven. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, even Mouse, when she calmed down, because she would defend Vaughn in a lot of ways, right? Because that was her man, right? But still, right? She never changed her story. Vaughn, on the other hand, has changed what happened and the circumstances leading up to and during and just everything. His versions have changed, right? And I know it's been time and a long time and stuff like that, but her story never changed, right? Even when she was back in the house, and he got there to tell the trolls that it wasn't really a gun, and she said, "Yeah, it was a gun," right? And he says, "No, it wasn't. You just thought it was a gun," you know. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, June is racing month at the Helton household. It's been a while since he's made a new Hot Wheels video, and we're pretty excited about it. And on the edges of our fucking seats, quite literally right now, in anticipation for the upcoming unveiling, maybe the possible racing season. Hot Wheels races of the month. Let's go racing at the Helton home. Wow, yeah, fuck yeah, my God, uh, yeah, the whole thing with Andrea. Now, like I said, Vaughn, as soon as she left Vaughn, apparently she got to be quite a big fucking girl. Now, I'm not making fun of her because she's fat. I mean, she got it was like this was Mouse, and then all of a sudden this is Mouse, right? And uh, so that was kind of weird, or not weird, but like different environment type stuff. Um, And then she became, everybody, she was talking when she did those interviews that she had a new boyfriend or some shit like that. And even in those interviews, she tried not to shit on Vaughn too much. She would say which was true, but I don't think she really tried to shit on him, right? She was just trying to tell her story. And Vaughn went fucking nuts over that shit, right? That somebody else was boinking her ex fucking hot wife, right? Because remember, he used to claim that everybody was jealous that he had a semi attractive wife in her 20s, and that everybody was jealous that he had Mouse and we didn't. And apparently, the whole time she was giving computer sex to different people, which would be just as creepy as Vaughn talking about sex. But yeah, I'm waiting for Vaughn to come up with a pledge week. I really am, because his videos now where he at the end where he shows a fucking screw this, man. It's a half a cigarette. It's the only cigarette, and there's these really shitty ones too. So I'm not trying to even smoke the good stuff, right? That's why I'm literally like just. And this is taking a while for me to get through. So please, just I know I'm fucking not doing what I'm supposed to, but I'm doing what I can. It's called like late in life, fucking bad choices maintenance, type shit. Look, I don't go judging people at all, right? I'm not a judgmental person. I just enjoy the lulls, right? The Rip Cervix mystery assassination. Well, remember Father Judgment, God rest his soul, actually was uh, lowered by a rope from a chopper into the hospital to break Andrea's to disconnect her oxygen tube and thus try to kill her. And I've got that from the horse's mouth. Before Father Judgment died, he talked to me one day, and he says, some things are going to happen around here sometime. Things happen, accidents happen. I feel like something's going to happen. And I just want you to know, he says, if something happens to me, this is what Father Judgment actually told me. He says, Lobster, I got to tell you this. Actually, he called me Grampy Lobster because I think I'm a little bit older than him. Not quite sure. But anyway, But he showed me his face. He says, Grampy Lobster. He says, I got to tell you something. I said, what do you want to tell me? He says, it's something really important that I've been holding on for the longest fucking time. I said, what is it? He goes, I got to tell you. He's got to tell you. I can't take it anymore because I know something's going to fucking happen. Right? And I said, well, you shut the fuck up and tell me what the fuck you can talk about. You know, you're going to just like jerk me off all fucking and leave me with a fucking chain and then tell me absolutely nothing. We're a news organization here. We need to know the truth. If you have something to tell us, if you're going to spill the beans, we want to know about it. We want to know it first. We want the exclusive. And he looked at me and he bowed his head a little bit. And this is just days before Father Judgment tragically died on that ladder accident, doing what he does best, you know, serving out judgment. I remember it to this day. He lowered his head and closed his eyes briefly, and he did a sigh, kind of like old Father Judgment could do, only like him. You always knew that sound, that and he looked up slowly, and as his head rose to show a man proud of what he has done, looking seemingly to finally come clean with the dirty deeds that had allegedly taken place on that fateful night. So I asked him, I said, Father Judgment, what's going on here? He took another deep breath and he looked at me and his eyes widened up and he grinned. And he said, only as Father Judgment can say, God rest his soul. It's true. I did it. It's all true. And with that, we ended the interview at that point, you know, not knowing that would be the last time we would ever speak to Father Judgment. Just a few days later, he tragically died on a ladder, doing what he does best, protecting us and serving the people as Father Judgment, the vigilante we all knew. Well, he's no more, but we all remember him. Anyway, I don't know where that came from. But dirty deeds when they done dirt cheap. Oh shit. You know, it was Camelot. Holy fuck. Thanks a lot, Bozo. You know, the thing about Camelot, right? And I might be going a little bit long, but I'm pretty stoned and I've had a lot of sleep. And they gave me this medication. It's not a. It's like it kind of makes me like I'm not the most active guy. Okay, gotta tell you the truth, right? In fact, in a lot of ways, I can be kind of lazy. I'm let me see, non-compliant at times. What do they call it? Procrastinating. Fuck, I've had a green screen over here for almost 6 months now. But then again, Bozo won't kind of hang on me because he's too busy too. So anyway, you need to show some art, Bozo. You really do. You really need to show some art. But yeah, all the years of like the shit going on with Vaughn yelling at Mom. I mean, just what was put on that he put on, right? Where he was like really mean to her. I mean, not a very nice person because the show is more important, right? And it was always about the show, right? He didn't give a shit about her feelings when he was doing the show. If she was, so he called it the third shift. They did it on shifts. Now, when my kids were little, right, there were times where like their mother would get up more than I, and most of the time she did, but there were times that I did. I mean, I don't think we ever had, and I don't think some people do because they're into like more structured life or whatever, you know, they structure it that way. But the whole idea of, you know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, my shift is over, you know. I mean, unless it's been a terribly bad night, you know, sometimes you let him sleep a little bit longer because you're still sitting there drinking some coffee or you've been up with whatever, right? But shit, it was like it was his job, like, you know, maybe he was getting paid for it, thought he should be paid for but he stuck around. Um, she was forcefully sterilized. She came back to him and didn't get preggo after 3 weeks. Yeah, forcefully sterilized. They don't do that anymore, right? Personally, for some people, I think it should be, but oh god, somebody's gonna have problems with my morality now. But some people should not have fucking kids. I really seriously give a fuck less what you think about that. And I could get into a story about why I honestly believe that, and I will one day. But that's not what this is all about. Let me see. But no, when Vaughn would talk about, and this is something else I want to talk about. When he talked about when he visited the hospital where Andrea was at, right? And he talked to all the doctors and nurses and all the staff, and he got the tour of the place, and you know, even the psych ward was better than he thought it might be. It's like he's got this preconceived notion of what the psych ward in a hospital is, right? Um, I'm sure he's watched One Flew of the Cuckoo's Nest. Who hasn't? I've actually been to that place. Um, and what actually goes on inside of a psych ward. And this is another, where people like me that are a little fucked up in the head and have emotional detachments and emotional issues that stem back for fucking years and really don't care at this point because it's kind of who I am, right? And like I said, I've been in the fucking psych ward. I've been put in involuntarily. Well, actually, it wasn't involuntary at one time because I had a choice to either like voluntarily go or they were going to put me in, right? So I technically look how it ever, I've been locked up. I've been in crisis centers. I've been on the fourth floor at the VA. I don't know how many times since I've been here. In Oregon, same thing, right? I'm a fucked up individual. I got a lot of shit going on in my head, and so do certain family members of mine, right? So, and actually, I'm actually working with people in the mental health care system, and being a family member who visits and helps take care of things like that. Everything Vaughn Helton has ever said about what goes on inside of a fucking mental hospital or the mental ward or a crisis unit where they lock you up for 72 hours, which I've been in a few of those multiple times, is utter bullshit, right? Force feeding you things and, making you just things like that just don't happen. It's a sterile environment, as sterile as possible. It's a place to relax. It's not a place where they fucking try to mind fuck you and pump you full of fucking drugs, right? Now, some people, quite frankly, have to take a lot of fucking psych drugs, right? It's how they have their normal, right? And Andrea was like that, right? And I know a little bit more. Like I said, I'm not an educated man, but I've been around the block a few times when it comes to fucking people that have to be hospitalized and shit like that. And Vaughn just shits on what the mental health system. It's not perfect, right? It's gotten a lot better, right? But to literally shit on, and it is Kentucky or where the fuck she was at, but that's not the purpose, and spewing out misinformation is something Vaughn has done for years and has become known for it, right? And the fact that he says that he got the tour of the place, right? When you have a loved one, right, go into a mental institution, right? Okay, whether it's yourself or a spouse or a family member, right? And you're the one that takes them to the hospital, right? They don't give you it. I mean, they'll take you up to the ward where it's going to be, and they will show you where the place is. It's kind of an acclimation. Sometimes you don't get to go up there with them. Well, most of the time, they will take you and you will go to the ward, and when things are settled down, things like that, maybe the next day is time to visit visitation, but they don't go out of their way to give you a tour of the hospital, right? And you get to see the ward they're in. There's always a day room, and where you get snacks, and everybody's got their room. Sometimes it's a single room, so you always get people that can't have a fucking roommate because they're weird and shit like that, And he makes it sound like something that's literally not. Now, it's not the most pleasant place in the world. It's not meant to be. right? Unless you've got thousands of dollars a day or some shit going to these posh places that Dr. Phil will send you to, right? But they don't pump you. And some people will disagree. They'll say, oh, when I was in the hospital, they did this. That's not why they go to school and stuff like that. People don't go to fucking school and get jobs in hospitals so they can pump you full of drugs to make you stupid, right? But just the fact that he misrepresented even giving a fuck that she was in the hospital. Just, oh, it's a nice place. It was better than I expected. You know, just shows what kind of a narcissistic, I don't give a fuck person he is, right? And yeah, and the fact that Irv would make a great Scientologist. Yeah, you could probably get him to believe in Xenu, I mean, or whatever the fuck. They'd have fun with Vaughn. Oh, the Scientologists. If they could convert Vaughn to Scientology, he'd probably get kicked out. Well, he doesn't have the money to pay for it all. Remember, that takes a lot of money to get the knowledge. He'd have to have, Vaughn would have to have a lot of pledge weeks to be a good fucking Scientologist. You know that, right? But, yeah, the whole disabled vet thing, right? Like I said, when I was in the army, I got hurt, right? And I got a fucked up hand. Well, my hand's kind of fucked, right, in a lot of ways and stuff. And I got a percentage, right, to the VA for years. I qualified. I mean, I went in years later, but um, and if you're a disabled vet, you have a percentage, and you have to have 30% to get health care, right? Or and I've got a bit over 30 and almost 40, and um, so you're allowed to go to the VA for I get health care and mental health care, right? Free pair of glasses every year, right? Through my Medicare, stuff too, because I'm not legally nuts, but I don't do well around a lot of people at times. I've got issues, right? And just we'll just take it with that. And there have been many reasons. No felonies, right? No convictions, right? No charges, just. Um, but yeah, the whole, first claiming that he was trying to beg for money, claiming to be a disabled vet, right? Then he got called on that really quick, right? Then he goes, I don't know if I'm a disabled vet. He's got the spongy ass, right? And the middle age spread because, well, the doctor said that's just something that happens, right? That's natural, right? They don't know what's wrong with his feet. Well, shit, right? He doesn't know it. Maybe some of this happened when he was in the army or in his civilian capacity, you know. Uh, and it's all bullshit, and everybody knows it's bullshit, right? But he talks about it like it's real, and then he's gonna sue you, slander. He's gonna call the military on you, right? He's done it to me. He did it to Navy medic, swearing he's gonna call the military. You're going to call the military. I mean, okay, what branch of the military, what office, you're going to report somebody, you're going to report me to the provost marshal, I mean, just simple bullshit. It is just fucking crazy as hell. And I really enjoy having fun with one, right? Hopefully I can have a little bit more fun with this Helming's wolf fucking guy because he's really good to fucking just mash shit up because he says some really stupid shit too. Um, uh, he claimed, for a guy that like I'm on a fixed income, right? I don't have a lot. I don't like need a lot, right? I've, you know, have what I have, right? I'm happy with that. I mean, not happy and content, but I'm happy with what I have, right? I've come to a few realizations in my life. It didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to, but I'm having fun with what I have and who I have. I mean, I got Carl back there, right? I have fun, right? And try to enjoy life best I can in the situation I have. and the time I have left on this, on this earth and in this world. And so, like, not giving a fuck on so many levels, right? I just, yeah, I work with a stuffed bear. Yeah. But he's got me a deadly case of bedpan cleaner red eye syndrome. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this. I can't wait to see what goes on with this Hot Wheels stuff. In the last couple of videos, he's brought up the trolls. The trolls say this. He can't keep that out of his fucking mind, right? And and like I said, a couple times when his kids had the cars and stuff, and he just kind of like shaking his head, like, the trolls think this doesn't bother me, right? But he's got that look, right? He's got that, you know, and I think, well, it might be a good racing season. But then again, it might be funny as fuck, right? I want to see all the tables laid out and stuff so we can stack them up, make the big badass fucking ramp. Like I said, he was worried about his starting gate and all the cars not fitting. And I saw this video where this guy used this little squeegee, right, as the starting gate. He had like 5 cars lined up, right, on this nice track, right? And he just put one of those little mini squeegees there. And when it was time to start the race, he just lifted the squeegee up, right? And Vaughn's trying to get all fucking, mechanical and shit. If I'll drill some holes in here and put some things up there, some little sticks or some shit like that, and then maybe a spring and pull or whatever like that. Just get a squeegee, man. Just, or hold the fucking thing with both of your fingers like this and let them up, problem solved. But it's gonna have the palm trees. Can't wait for the palm trees. I hope he adds a fan, right? So we can have a little bit of, palm tree blowing action, because it's the Winter Nationals, the Gator Nationals, you know. I've got a desk full of stuff that's worth $3 or $4. Yes, I do. It's called the desk of worthless shit, right? And I have a new piece here on the desk of worthless shit. I don't remember if I mentioned this before, but I found this when we were getting ready for the flea market, the yard sale, whatever. And it's an old like extension cord thing where like plug-in thing where you could stick like 3 different cords. And this is back when you had the old white fucking um, extension cords. And first they better later better became known as like, fire starters, right? Electrical fire starters, because these things would fucking melt in just a couple of hours. But I kept it up there, just kind of like nostalgia, kind of like the purple rabbit's foot. The can of haggis is going on now, about 15 years old. 15-year-old can of haggis from Scotland. Actually, it's guaranteed Scottish haggis. Got a toilet bowl, coffee cup, couple. I got Band-Aid flavored, bacon flavored Band-Aids, Third Armored Division patch, my frog, my bottle of hot sauce, a disco ball. I got so much crap here, man. There's so much shit. You know what? If I ever did a Patreon or something like that, I thought, my Patreons would deserve like certain items, maybe every month or something from the desk of worthless shit, because one of these days somebody's going to have to figure out what to do with it. Now that might sound like morbid or mean or something like that. I just thought, I'm going to collect all this shit when I die. Somebody's going to have to figure out what to do. Oh, Celeste, I love to make sense sometimes because it scares the fuck out of me, because I literally never know what's going to come out of my mouth until it pretty much comes out of my mouth. But yeah, the FBI, is glitter bomb. Oh my god, that would have been something to fuck. Oh god, watching Vaughn's face if he got a glitter bomb. I was hoping somebody would have sent him poop, right? On my limited budget, I couldn't afford. I know there's a a website I used to be able to go to called doggydoo.com. I could either confirm or deny that years ago I spent $22 to send a bag of shit, dog shit, to somebody's house anonymously. But the age of the internet has grown, and I've tried that the way it happened before. This person could easily find out who it was. You know, you got dibs on a hot sauce? Absolutely, Frank's hot sauce. I got through a couple of bottles. You know, it's hot. It's got flavor and stuff like that. I don't want to be burned at this stage of my life. I got enough shit wrong with me. I don't need a leaky pooper. Because ham flavored sauce. Do you have a Dr. Strange saucepan? Spring cake Italian. No, but I am considering buying a lobster suit and or one of those T-Rex bodysuit things. You've seen them dancing and stuff like that. Probably go more with the lobster. Well, I'm not really sure. Breathing wise, I'd probably have a stroke inside of the fucking dinosaur suit within about 5 minutes, and the lobster suit probably more viable. Lobster hat, something, because as I've stated before, that I now identify as a lobster, and my preferred pronoun is lobster, and anything different is like lobster phobia, right? And I will not have that. Your hubby is going to make a 10 pepper hot sauce soon. Hundreds of dollars to anyone who can eat 10 wings. I used to do stuff like that, I really did. I remember years ago, we used to have jalapeno eating contests, right? And have a lot of beer and stuff like that, right? And then you get shit funny for like 3 fucking days. It hurt like a motherfucker, right? I learned my lesson a few times with those things. You know what I'm saying? That can fucking hurt, man, and hurt fucking bad. So bad, it's like, you know, and some people it doesn't affect them quite as much. But yeah, I've done that. I grew a bunch of these peppers when I lived in Oregon, and this one year we used to do canning, and we used to do tomatoes and apples and pears and applesauce, apple cider and stuff. Yeah, I know how to do all that stuff. And we used some really old primitive stuff. Our juicer looked like almost like a fucking um, moonshine still. It didn't have the copper wire, but pretty much it was old, and it was like, but we used it and it worked fine. But it took a little bit more effort. But anyway, there's one year I grew like a ton of these really fucking hot peppers, right? And I used to pickle stuff, right? So I decided I was going to get all these peppers, and I was just going to mix them in this bowl. There was like 6 or 7 of these really fucking hot peppers. I don't know all the names. Some were red, some were green, some were yellow. Nothing much more than this big. A few bigger ones, but chopped up really well sometimes. So I made this stuff, right? And I pickled peppers, right? And I called it the jar of death, right? And I had about 20 of these fucking pint jars, right? And these mason jars. And the thing was, right, when I left them sit for like a month, right, in the proper, and they were canned, so they were preserved really well because we did it properly with old school stuff. But anyway, when I opened the first jar, right, I opened it up, right, and there was this beautiful taste of pickled peppers, right, and I'm just fucking chomping away at these fucking peppers, right. I'm like, these are fucking good as shit, and they're not fucking hot and spicy. I wasn't expecting this. It was great. I'm just chomping on these, and I had a little bit of garlic and onion, like peeled, slivered onion, and it's up. Oh my god, it was just fucking awesome, right? And I got down to about half of that fucking jar, and I started to hurt really bad. My face hurt, my throat hurt, my ass. I mean, I was literally on fucking fire, right? And because the peppers that were hot peppers, right? You could pickle stuff and it could still be hot, right? I ate a shit ton of these fucking peppers, right? And they were good as fuck because they were pickled and they were just, oh man. And so I closed up the jar, and a few days later I went back and tried to sort, but I gave them out to people and I said, look, I called them the jars of death because I said, don't eat them very fast. They taste good, but it's going to creep up on you, just like good creeper reefer, you know? And I did, right? But that was, so yeah, I've gone through, I've gone through my stage of eating, of not having, eating like really hot things just to see if I could. And, I like hot, I like spicy, but not too hot anymore. But let's see what's going on here. Ham flavored, had a ham back in there, good muzzle. A good ham bone is good as some beans. I want to fire starting plug so I can send it to Vaughn. I have these. Okay, okay. Vaughn wants a woman who will pre-chew his spaghetti. I love it when he chews spaghetti. Oh my god, or gums it. He slaps his gums until the spaghetti noodles break. And oh my god, and like I said, I I don't eat. And very seldom, if I got the munchies or something, and I've got some chips or a box of cereal or something like that, or sometimes my wife will bring stuff in here. She goes, "You want some of this?" But I try not to eat on camera because I can eat, after the fact, right? I have my coffee or something to drink. But uh, when he eats and he thinks that it drives people crazy, that it just drives people nuts and everything. And is this willful ignorance, or is it real, or is it, and then he like slaps together with his gums this Schwan's spaghetti dinner that you put in a microwave, right? Um, and pizza, same way. When he had that Hunt Brothers pizza, right? Um, that was one of the funniest things I've seen, and I think it's funny when he eats on camera. It's kind of like when Fat Elvis eats on camera, right? It's fucking Lulz Gold, right? It's funny as shit and needs to be shared in creative ways that, well, only myself and Carl and all the gang here at Lobster Studios can do. We do what we do. We do what we can. And goodness gracious, microwave fish dinner. That, and he thinks people want him to do cooking videos too because he can like put stuff in a crock pot, or empty a fucking like open a box of noodles. Like I said, I like those fucking noodles and stuff. You boil some water, you put some noodles in there, and there's a sauce pack. It's good. I like those things, right? Fuck, I'll even eat hamburger helper sometimes, because I like some of those, right? Um, Crock pot, I love a crock pot, right? Like to fry food, whatever. But that's not cooking. That's putting stuff in a pot, right? And like pre-mixing shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a crock pot. Well, I mean, you can open cans and fresh veg or whatever like that, but that's debatable. But when you literally open up envelopes, right, or a box or something, and you dump things into some boiling water, and you wait 5 minutes, and then take the fucking lid off and stir it, and put the lid back on and let it simmer for 5 minutes. That's not cooking. That's heating things up, right? Um, but you've convinced him about eating on camera. You almost convinced him to take a bath outside under a hose in his boxers. How the fuck did you do that? I need to know, right? You Herb has to use his gums for that pinch the loaf technique. Come on, ice cream. Geez. Mardrake the magician had a magical browning wand, great for camping. No, I don't get that. So yeah, I said I don't get everything on Bozo, but God damn it, and howdy, who couldn't love a? I still think he's a bit evil. He's got his mind is too warped. It's abstract, right? I don't know if young people know what abstract is anymore, but that's Bozo. And we here at Lobster Ministries, we've given him an honorary title of like he's the bozo of the Fun Brigade, right? And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it is Pledge Week right now. It is Pledge Week for the Fun Brigade. All you've got to do to join the Fun Brigade and show your participation and your love is put hashtag Fun Brigade or fuck off lobster or something like that. Show your love in the side chat. Once again, that's the easiest way and the only way you can really join the Fun Brigade. Hey, now I got a pressure cooker for pushing out a baby. It takes a lot of chopping. No, I get it. Chopping up veggies out baby day. Are you chopping up babies in the veggie cutter too? Oh, Skype, dress slutty, get pretty, and Skype her. They'll be too busy drooling. Yeah, I've seen some of those before. If there's a girl in the fucking side in the fucking room, man, Vaughn will definitely he'll put on his chivalry act again. He'll oh my god, yeah, look what he tried to do to Candy Rain, man. Shit. I mean, goodness, if something was ever to happen to her husband, she would probably go looking toward Vaughn before anybody else. And Candy shut him down so fucking fast. That was a moment in Lowell's history that I will never personally forget, and I don't think deserves to be forgotten. And that's why we here at Lobster Studios thrive. Hey, Mr. United for the Children. Morning all. It is 5:36 a.m. in the tri-state area. I've been up all night. I think partially because I slept yesterday and the meds they gave me have tended to keep me awake a little bit. Plus, this is like the third giant iced coffee I've had in the last 5 hours. So I'm pretty well caffeined up too. A little bit of weed and just having a great time talking to all you people. Those that look like 8 people. Poor Candy, she still is in therapy. Yeah, that was, oh geez, that was just one of the things. And people go, why do you watch that shit, right? And I'd be like, those are the moments you live for, right? There's always the video clips. But there was always that point, like the day that Oscar and Christina Blackfeather and some other people and Vaughn was talking about, people thought that he might be, of special needs, refining the fact that some people think he's retarded, which I think there might be I'm thinking more he's like on the stupid scale more than the retarded scale. Well, the stupid scale with a mild retard, so which kind of equals it. But yeah, but anyway. But he just, it's going to be fun to watch, But just the fact that he thought that Candy would just go, yeah, Vaughn, man, I find you sexy, and if something did happen to my husband, sure, I'd go jump into your fucking arms. Yeah, getting shot down like that. But when Vaughn asked them people if he came off looking retarded or of special needs or something like that, he didn't get the answer he wanted. Like I said, Christina, she was very polite. Just said that, well, he didn't look well, which, and but just the gold, the stuff that you want to hear, the stuff that you yearn to hear, right? It's a beautiful fucking thing. And stupid scale, he could do better than that when he's just too lazy and stupid. Yeah, it's like when he didn't have any money, he got the dumb chicks, right? The chicks with no money. But now that he's got money, he's getting the good chicks. He's getting the chicks with money now, right? And then he makes the video about uh, the do's and don'ts and how to stay out of federal prison. Trying to pick up chicks. There's a lot of stories behind all this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, and we seriously don't give a fuck what the outcomes are. I really don't, because it's just that fucking funny. I just want it to continue. Um, he yeah, pretty soon Hot Wheels money. Yeah, but he's asking for money. Like I said, it's a I keep jumping from side to side, but I'm looking at the side chat right now. I'm trying to interact, with the Lobster Nation, with the Fun Brigade, and he's. I am wearing. Ooh, do piercings count as clothing? Ah, shit. I am rock hard right now. Uh, if I think either way, I think we all would win on that part. Um, but you're trying to, yeah, he's got an excuse for fucking literally everything. I mean, look, seriously, right? Like I said, Yvonne, literally everything, literally that has happened in him in his life that hasn't had a good outcome is somehow somebody else's fault, right? I'm the kind of guy, I've fucked up a lot in my life, right? I've had to eat a lot of shit. I've had to like come to terms with some things I did in my life, probably most likely and pretty much my fucking fault. I think that happens to everybody. Some of us do it a little bit more than. So you understand, like taking responsibility later in life for stupid shit that you did, right? Vaughn has literally taken no responsibility for anything, from his student loan to his first kid to uh, his military career to literally when he wrecked his mom's car. You know, um, somehow he blamed that on Obama and CERN. I think I forgot exactly, but But seriously, nothing in his there have been supernatural things that have happened, right? To Vaughn, right? That are because of the trolls, right? Because the gods are angry, or the gods are, this comic book fucking superhero. Hmm. It's just funny as fuck, and so we see. Yeah, when he gets that Hot Wheels money, like I said, it's going to be Pledge Week pretty soon, because he's already putting ads saying that if you want to donate to him to keep his videos ad free. So he's trying a different marketing technique, right? Saying if you don't want to hear 5 seconds or 20 seconds of an ad for an actual product and not a shitty fucking computer company that would never would have worked, um, then give him money, and that way you won't have to look at commercials for actual products. Um, yeah, it's gold mining. Remember the time he was mad about something? He had pizza sauce all over one side of his face, and all hanging out. He was laughing at there. Yeah. Let me see. There was a lot of hangouts where, like when the old hangouts he would be in with the debate coliseum, uh, and like 8 hour debate coliseum videos were hard to watch sometimes. But when Vaughn was in there, it was most people knew that he was an idiot, right? And they did it, or they were interested and they were actually asking questions, and Vaughn would flip out on them because for whatever fucking reason. But there was always something, right? He had to. He thought when he was on camera that he had the fucking floor, and by golly, It's a beautiful fucking thing, ladies and gentlemen. He can't work because he'll garnish his wages. I don't think he understands or wants to understand what like $2.20. If all you're bringing home is $2.20 after your wages have been garnished, you need to change your job because you're not even making minimum wage. Okay, and that's just a fact, right? You can look up laws and stuff. I've had wages garnished before. A lot of people have had for a brief to get a bill paid up or a dispute, whatever, right? It's happened to me once. It's happened to a lot of people, right? They don't take literally everything and give you $2 a month or a week unless you literally don't make any money. Um, it just doesn't work like that. So yeah, the whole idea. Yeah, it's an excuse not to work. The old days when he was triggered is that was just pure love. Yeah, watching him just go fucking crazy. I still have the video. What evil did I do? You know, after Andrea left him and he was like screaming and hollering. And when I'm having a really bad day, sometimes I like to put that video on because I think it's funny as shit. Right? When you put your entire life, like I said, I share a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I don't share because that's not what I'm sharing. I share, certain things about me, my shortcomings, right? And goodness knows I have some, and they get pointed out to me quite frequently. Uh, but the fact that his mother still puts up with him, and when Ma Helton goes, right, I'm not, like I said, I'm not wishing her death. I got nothing against Ma Helton. She's done the best she can, isolating her from society enough not to be a fucking detriment to society, I guess, and protecting him because she probably knows that deep down that he's a bit of an idiot. You know, years ago he would have been the like, oh shit, 9 bells and all's well. Not understanding what 8 bells and anyway. But he's a Marine or a Navy and a Sea Cadet trained and doesn't understand the bells. Who's the wolf guy? He's a former fucking Vontard from years ago that suddenly showed up in my fucking suggestions or subscribed to. I think I was literally subscribed to this guy a long time ago and didn't realize it. I don't know. I didn't know I was subscribed to him. And I just started watching his shit. And this guy's a fucking nutter. He's only made a few videos in the recent like months, or those. He's got 3, but he's got a treasure trove of fucking just weird shit. Right? He owns radio station. He would buy the software or something. You can buy these or own your own radio station, and he would. And plus, he would also live stream movies and events on another website with a link from his YouTube, and then YouTube would catch what he was doing, which is against the law, and like putting links to things that um, couldn't understand why he couldn't broadcast the Super Bowl, you know, or the world's or whatever, because now the NFL takes care of the Super Bowl. Well, yeah, it's the fucking NFL, right? He doesn't understand why he can't broadcast certain things, right? Because he owns a radio station. He would pay some monthly fees or something, I guess, for one of these digital radio stations that you can start. And some people are pretty good at them, right? I know a couple. I've listened to a couple of people sometimes that play the type of music I like that have internet radio stations, right? I can click onto them, right? But you gotta like push that shit. You gotta pump that shit. You gotta advertise yourself. You are your best marketing tool. You are, if you're a radio guy or something, and you put your face out there, or your voice or a product, you are your best marketing tool, right? You're your best spokesman. You are, and the way he puts that out there is just fucking crazy as shit, right? Doesn't understand why nobody watches him. He cancels this. He's a persecuted guy, right? You know, and like you said, he's one of these Second Amendment police auditing guys likes to go in there and cause trouble and go into city council budget meetings and, keep everybody honest because, he's proclaimed himself to be one of these watchdog guys, and um, he's the man stands up in a fucking video to show that he actually does wear a diaper. Got to give him credit on that. The he's either really stupid or he just seriously, and he says he doesn't give a fuck, and I totally believe him. He doesn't give a fuck, right? He's just a weird dude, and it's easy to have fun with. But most of his stuff is like 5 to 8 years old, right? Because you can see he shows up differently. He's got a mustache, then he's got no facial hair, then he's got a big beard, then he's bald, and then he's got hair, and he's a chameleon. He's a man of many, many, many fucking many, 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 many disguises. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Grampy Lobster along with Carl, the sloth, the green monkey in the background, the bottle of Frank's Red Hot Sauce, and everybody here at Lobster Studios. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, having a little bit of fun, getting a few things off my chest, and hopefully entertaining some people. Emu Howling Wolf, yes. His first name is Justin. He changed his name legally to Justin. Not because he's a Justin Bieber fan, which, like I said before, he is a Justin Bieber fan. He's a believer, right? Not because he's a big Justin Bieber fan, but he's just a big fan of. It's always like that, the name Justin. So, if you move his initials a little bit, like Justin Emu Howling Wolf, and take out the H, he could be, Justin the Jew, or, oh my God, there goes an anti-Semitic fucking comment, but his initials could spell out Jew. And anyway, that's pretty much all I got. I hope everybody enjoyed watching this. I had a good time. Hope everybody has a beautiful day coming up, or don't have a kind of day. Memorial Day is over. Now it's time to get back to the grind, and live our lives. Summer has begun. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Grampy Lobster, I can sure send a link to his. I will be doing some more of that stuff. But anyway, like I said before, a great man, Steve Martin, once said, and he's quoted by saying this: "You can fool the people, but you can't fool yourself." With that being said, motherfuckers, have a good evening. Bye bye. Oh, wait a second. And that's a take.